Welcome in, everyone. That Albiro, this first time chatter thing here, this is supposed to be the same, like Pokebot thing that Wargaming uses. I don't know if I set it up correctly, so we'll see. Welcome in, Alex, and congrats on first place and getting first. I don't know why it threw it up then, because I don't think Pokey's happening, but I don't know. So, we'll see if I set it up right or not. Let's see. We are going to start the second building for the Hogsmeade. It's the pub, essentially. We need another one of these. And we're starting on bag 11. I figured after we do our 5 bags today, that will work more on that bookmark. And Black, Spooky, and Pumpkin were the ones that won for the Crafttober polls. So we're going to do those vintage ones. I probably won't work on them strictly on stream because we saw how that worked last time. Not very well. So I'll work on them, some on stream, some off stream. I have to do some maths to figure out, because we had decided to do both of them on the same piece of fabric, so there'll be math involved. My idea is obviously to look at the pattern and see what the measurement for the patterns is, and then add about an inch between them, and then of course like 4 inches on either side. So my plan is to run like a loose piece of thread up the middle, then a 1/2 inch on either side will be like where the pattern starts. So kind of mark that, and mark the 4 inches loosely on each side. And of course mark where center is. Do I have that on right? I feel like that's not quite like it is in the picture, but there's our Harry Potter minifig. And then like find where center is in each pattern, you know, and work like that. So we shall see how it goes. We did not do much this weekend, but that was okay. Fantasy has archery today. She's helping out again with the younger kids. So I just have my phone close by in case something happens with like the bus from one building to the other, but she said she scored a 263 at practice yesterday, and that they need to basically score 275 if they want to go to nationals this year. So, like, individually, she would need to score 275. Okay, that's... Oh, I grabbed two of the same. I don't know what I did. I must have had more than I needed. Um, so she's got to bring up her score consistently by 12 points. So, fingers crossed. It means practicing more, like even at the house, no kind of slacking off. And the boy has been doing pretty good in school, so that's good. So this is supposed to be the pub. The Hogshead, or no, not Hogshead, I guess. Maybe it is. I don't think so, though. Because a Hogshead is something else, I think. Let's see. The Three Broomsticks, that's what it is. The Three Broomsticks. Ah, now the Three Broomsticks on the front of the pub makes sense. Pay no attention to me. There is a Halloween wreath that Lego came out with that I want to get. Only like $40, so I want to get that to do for next month, obviously, because late Halloween. We plan to put our Halloween inflatables up this weekend. Sorry, I was just making sure something was right. Sorry, if something looked weird. Just making sure I had it set up right. And I think the next one I'm going to do, like next cross stitch project I'm going to do for myself, is the Till Death one, where it glows in the dark. I need to go through and see what colors I need for that, if any. And I'm pretty sure I'll need the glow in the dark thread though. No, you're all right, Alex. Yeah, real life stuff always comes first. I am just babbling into the ether about I don't know what. Just babbling about who knows what. I don't know half the time. Come on. Turn. There you are. Well, I guess it did turn. Well, that's good then. I like when it comes when I'm not expecting it. Yeah, I like when it arrives earlier than I think it's going to. I wrote myself a little list. Okay, it did work. Okay, so I did this this Albiro whatever. It's supposed to be the same the same bot, there's the word I was looking for, that Wargaming uses. So we have a little more info and like we know which ball to use. I need to switch my balls because apparently I'm out of that ball again. Let's see what other balls I have a ton of. Because there are several types of balls that I just have a ton of. So I've been trying to like wheedle through those. Some don't really make sense like to use in this like automatic throw, like the repeat balls, but like, or like heavy balls, things like that. But some of them that are not necessarily specific to a type. Ooh, we caught it, Alex. So I've been trying to like use up those ones that aren't like specific to a certain type. Like basic Pokeballs are good for normal Pokemon. Heavy balls are good for, like rock type, whatever. So I've been trying to like work through those that are not necessarily for a certain type. Let's switch it to Great Cherish. I only have 2, but we're going to try anyway. So we'll have to switch it more than once today. But actually, let's just change it to Ultra, and I'll use the other ones in somebody else's. There we go. But yeah, I finally figured out what I used to have because I was like going through my Discord. You know how it has like all the little symbols for like the pictures for the different groups, and I was like, what the heck is this Discord server? And I went in it. I was like, oh, this must be the pokey thing I used to have. And I guess something happened and they kind of turned it off, and they have like a light mode you can go to, which is I guess like a not full mode, full detail. And I was like, meh, I'll just you know, figure out wargaming what he uses and do that. So that's what I did. But I like that it gives you all the like the info. Honestly, now that it's there, I'm tempted to take off the chat auto throw and be more specific with the balls, but also I know I'll forget often. I need to say if Barnes and Noble has that Lego wreath, because then I'll save 10% on it, which is only $4, but it's $4, you know. Somebody is mowing the grass outside. I long for the day we can stop mowing the grass and I won't feel like I'm dying. I don't know about anybody else, but fresh cut grass drives me insane. Which is another reason I don't ever mow the lawn, because... Oh, I see. Never mind. I did put it right. I just need to put that there too. I did pin the bongo cat thing at the top if anybody wants to join my bongo kitty. It's a ghost kitty. You see, I have a ghost kitty. Should I put a witch hat on my ghost kitty instead? No. I'll put a little witch hat on my ghost kitty. I did add in things like where it reminds you about timer balls, and this where it was like, don't forget to chat, and that's how you get paid by Pokey. But if we don't like some of these, I can deactivate them. Like if we think it's too much in chat, I can deactivate them. Okay, so that was already there. Then we want to put that there. Here. Do, 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 do. You from God today. And I made sure I turned off the recording for desktop audio because I had it on the Sunday for the game, but I made sure I turned it off so I won't get in trouble with my music today. Look at my checklist proving useful and remembering to follow the checklist. Woo-hoo. I know, I'm so proud of myself. I even like have them on the bottom of my monitor here. But you know how that works sometimes? Like your brain is so used to seeing them that like it just ignores it. But I didn't ignore it. I kept using it. Right, we gotta take the small wins where they happen, okay? So I think fantasy has been irritated with me because last week, one of her teachers messaged me and said that she had a bunch of assignments not turned in, which made her class average really low, like her grade in the class low. And so I keep asking her, like I asked her that day about it and she was like, okay, I was like, figure out which ones they are and then either like make sure it wasn't as simple as like you forgot to press the turn in button because a lot of it's digital now. Like make sure you didn't just forget to press turn in, things like that. And then so like every day, because I was like, you don't get to do extra things. You don't get to come to homecoming, or you don't get to go to homecoming. You don't get to do extra things if you haven't done the basic things you need to do, right? Because I'm pretty lax with them until like I need to step in because they're getting older and they need to like just do these things on their own, right? And so every day I keep asking her, she's like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, she was talking about homecoming lesson. And I was like, so all your assignments are turned in? And she's like, mostly. And I was like, well, if you plan on going to homecoming, it needs to not be mostly, it needs to be all. And she was like, well, some of them aren't due yet. And I was like, well, then obviously those aren't the ones I'm talking about. Okay, I feel like I don't generally have these left over. But maybe. Yeah, because that's all right. Okay, let's go to this. Yeah, looks right. One, two, and three. And then I don't see another one anywhere else. Okay, we're calling it good. But yeah, I think she's a little annoyed with me because, you know. And I keep telling her, if you think that I'm being like unfair and like getting onto you and that I don't get onto your brother, you're wrong. Because that poor child is at home every day with me. And multiple times a day I'm going, hey, why isn't this done? Or, hey, this assignment was whatever. So, she, I think she's a little annoyed with me though. But she'll survive. Yeah, like I'm like, hey, did you set your alarm for your next class? Hey, this assignment's a little low. Let's try it again. Or, like, so she thinks like he's somehow exempt from it. She is wrong because every day, multiple times a day, I can get into his system and like see everything way more than I can see with her. Like, I can get on there and check like what assignments haven't been graded, but I don't know if it's the teacher hasn't put the grade in it or she hasn't turned it in, you know. But with him, I know one way or the other. I can get way more into his business than I can get with hers. So I told her she just needs to, if you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, I wouldn't have had to get involved. So really, you've no one to blame but yourself. Mm-hmm. There's a person. Where? Really, phone? Whatever. Okay. It says two of these are like this. So it wants. Oh, okay. Well, these two are the ones that have things on them. I was going to try to put those first, but then I was like, you know what? It seems like that maybe not be the easiest route. Let's do these up. Okay, so it shows that already there. Alex, Alex, Alex. That sounds like me. I get up and I go to do something and then I'm like, oh, what was I doing? Okay, we have a Mudbray donkey and it says a Geo ball is the best ball to use for that. Like there's somebody, it could be the wind blowing, honestly, because that's how a lot of my uh things for the ring go. Or a squirrel. There's a bird at the camera. There's a little birdie flying around the camera. Sleep now, I can't sleep. Love is so shy, But yeah. So every time I ask about it, she gets this annoyed look on her face. And I keep telling her, it's better that you just answer me because if I get on your school platform system and I start checking what's done and what's not done, it's not going to be good. Didn't I have 5 in my hand? Oh, I did. Oh, but I needed 6. Like, then I'm going to check every class and see what you haven't done. So it's your choice. I'm supposed to get daily emails through like Gmail, but I don't for some reason, and I don't know why. Like I accepted the like invite and everything, but I don't actually get them. It's really annoying. We caught it, Alex. Caught it, them, they, whatever. Mm. Mm. What is this? I'm quite enjoying telling your brother what he should be doing. Would you like me to keep checking what you're doing too? Yeah, like, I'm up his butt. Like, she has no idea how, like, annoying I am to him in a day, you know? Like, did you take notes? Are you sure you took notes? If you took notes, why'd you score so bad? Like, I am all up his behind because he's just in that room and I can get way into his system. Like, if you think that I am somehow, like, being worse to you than I am to him, I can prove you wrong. I will get all in your stuff and start asking questions you don't want to, you don't want to be asked, because at this point you have pretty much, like, do whatever you want. You come home, you play a video game, you talk to your friends, you do whatever, and I don't question it. But if I get in there and I see that there's a whole bunch of assignments not done, not completed, you've been scoring bad, things are going to drastically change. So which way do you want it? You want to keep rolling your eyes at me every time I ask you, or you just want to answer me? I mean, the choice is yours. I really, at the age they are and they're both in high school, I really try to let them be, like, do the things you need to do because you need to do them. And I try to, like, sit back. With him, it's a little different because I have to be more, like, responsible for him, like, making sure he's going to the classes and stuff like that. Like, there's no teacher going, why isn't your assignment turned in? So I have to be that for him. But also at the same time, I try to make sure that he does it first on his own. And then I come in after going, why isn't this done? Why did you miss this? I like, in the morning, I do look at his schedule for the day, and I look at the assignments. Like, I go through his grades and say, hey, we really, you have this grade in this class currently based on your assignments. We really need to work to, bump that up a little bit. I know you can do it. What's going on that it hasn't been as good as I know you could do, kind of a deal. But, like, I do want him to try to do it himself first. It just says Batabia, but I'll show it to you after I put it on. But, with her, I can't quite be the same way because I can only look at the thing and see if something's graded or not. That doesn't mean that, that she hasn't turned it in. It could just mean the teacher hasn't graded it yet. Butterbeer. Oh, if it'll... Come on. Focus. Oh, there we go. Maybe I was a smidgen too close. I'm quite yeah, like, it's okay. Like with his, when I go in and it's not graded, there's, like, the assignment, and then the next column, submitted on this day at this time, and then the grade. So if something's not graded, I can at least tell he's submitted it and it's just waiting to be graded. With hers, I can't tell that. There's just no grade there. So I'm like, did you do it? Did you not do it? Like, I can go and do that for you too if you wish, and be super annoying. But she's in 11th grade, and I really feel like, based on how we've, like, raised them, that, like, just do what you need to do. Why do I have to get on to you? And if I have to get on to you, you're not gonna like it. Whoosh. Turn it this way since we're starting to do more. I have always told them that you cannot expect to get, the the freedom without the responsibility. So if you want me to not be up your tookus and let you kind of have some freedom, then you need to do the things that get you that. You know what I mean? Freedom never comes without responsibility. Because that's true. You move out, oh, I'm free. I can do whatever I want because I live on my own. But can you really? Because now you have to have a job and you have to pay bills. That's all responsibility, you know? Like, so your freedom it's never free. Right. And I know overall she does pretty good, but I'm just like, really? You're gonna roll your eyes at me when I am asking about your assignments? When if you just did them and turned them in, I wouldn't have had to get a message from your teacher, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. He had a unit test yesterday. There were like two parts to the unit test. Of course, it's the test like in the computer where you answer the questions, and then it's like a worksheet he has to download and add his answers in and then save it and submit it. So on the first part where it's just the test on the computer and it gets graded like automatically, he got a perfect 42 out of 42. So we're just waiting for like the teacher graded part to come, like grade for that to be input and then know how he did overall on the unit test. But like he just did it. Like why? And I know that's bad. Like don't compare the children. That's not good. But at the same time, this is something simple where it's like not really, I'm not comparing grade wise, but like he just did it because he knew he needed to do it. Why can you not just do it because you need to do it? You know what I mean? Like will come home and be like, well, in my extra period, because they have like these little periods certain days where like they can either go make up work or make up a test or do whatever in these times. They're given like this kind of grace period time. And she'll talk about how she helped her friend learn to knit and she taught this teacher how to knit or did this with this, but your work isn't done. So if your work isn't done, how do you have time to do all that? Like if your work isn't turned in. And she didn't like me asking that question. Oh, poopsicles. Okay. We're going to do it this way because I know myself and I will not get this on correctly if I don't do it this way, which I know makes it harder for you guys to see, but for the sake of getting it on there properly, let's do it this way. There we go. Sorry. Trying to get my camera to focus on it. There we go. You can't really see what it says, but honestly, I can't really read what it says either. Pea soup, ale, the brekkie? I don't know. I mean, overall, she is doing really well, but like, my thing is, don't cop an attitude with me when you're the one who didn't do what you need to do, and now I have to get involved. See, when he first started doing it, and he didn't really have school on Fridays, and he still doesn't really have school on Fridays. He has more than he did the past 2 years because he's in high school. Like there's actual assignments. It just all on had like nothing on Fridays before, but now he'll have like an assignment or something. Still no classes really, but there are things there. And she got upset, and I was like, well, you can do this type of class too, but the truth is she'd be horrible at this type of class. She needs, like, the constant people there, like, that kind of bit. Honestly, as much as it's on her that she hasn't done the assignments, the teachers also shouldn't be doing fun things with her if she's got assignments to. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, the teacher should be looking at what she needs to do because she is on an IEP. So before the teachers are like, "Hey, Friday doing eight," it's like something to be like. They shouldn't be saying, "Hey, come do this with me," if she has assignments that are due. They should look at that first. They have access to her stuff. So it is kind of on some of the teachers too, or the teacher she's with, or her IEP teacher should be like, "No, you can't sign up to do that because you have assignments due." I think it's like a little bar area, I think. It makes sense because that says butterbeer, like it's a keg, and then this would be like a little bar area. That kind of makes sense. But yeah. So today, after I pick her up, we are going to sit down and look at her little thing that I can access, what little bit I can. I say little bit. So basically I can see all the classes she has, and I can see her attendance, and I can see like what her grade is in that class. But like I said, with the assignments, I can't really tell if it's like the teacher just hasn't graded it yet or it hasn't been turned in. So we're going to sit down and go through every blank spot, like every class, and be like, "Okay, tell me about this. Tell me about this." She's going to be really annoyed with me then, but I don't care. Because we go back to the if you had just done it, I wouldn't have to do this with you. A spritzy. It says a fantasy or a feather ball is best. Let's try this way. So it's supposed to be like a little bit of brick facade and then like some flyers. It says wanted Fenrir Greyback, a Quibbler, something from the Ministry of Magic. Oh, because you're testing tomorrow, so it's your last meal. Is it nothing after midnight, or is it nothing 12 hours before your thing? Because I've had it both ways. I've had it where they're just like nothing after midnight, and then I've had it like you shouldn't eat anything um less than 24 or 12 hours before your procedure. It says 6 hours, but I know that my digestive moves. Oh, so you go with 12. That's all right. It's good. You know your body. And I know it used to be like literally nothing. And then I know in recent years they've changed it to like you can have water. Like nothing to eat, but you can have water if you need something to drink. We got two little butter beers. We have. They look like half-filled cups. Two little butter beers. And then we put the white dot on top for froth. That's fantastic. I was going to eat a metric shit ton of cherry diddlers, but that may be a bad idea just in case there's dye. Yeah, the dye could last longer than like the actual food does. So now we have frothy butterbeer. The dye is funny that way, that it stays like they're going in my bag to take to your sisters. Because you'll deserve them afterward. Move these bigger pieces out of the way. Yeah, you'll deserve them afterwards. So I don't know if you heard me earlier, but the black, spooky, and pumpkin were the three things that won, or you might have heard them in Carrot Stream, for the Crafttober. So those pumpkin people are what I'm doing, but I have to do the maths, you know. Gotta do the math to figure out getting them both on the same piece of fabric. Where are you, piece? Make sure I'm looking for the right piece. There you are. You were hiding. Yeah, so I got to do the maths. Okay, so I used to not be bad with sedation. Other than the fact that the thing I have that allows me to metabolize medicine faster also applies to sedation. So they have to, so they do your, the whole little equation based on your weight and put it in the formula, and you should need this, right? Like it works for all type of medicine. That doesn't work for me for sedation. I will wake up before they want me to. So they have to sedate me more than based on my weight to keep me under. So then I get real pukey. I used to not get pukey afterwards, even with that issue. But, yeah, I do now. So. I've been sedated a bunch, so I kind of usually know how I wind up afterwards. Conscious sedation. Can't remember the last time I've been under. I don't think I've. Trying to think. I don't think I've been under conscious sedation because when I had my C-sections, it was a spinal block, which isn't like conscious sedation per se. They like, it's like a nerve block. You can't feel anything from like your second rib down, but you're not really sedated. It's just like cuts the feeling out. I guess it could be a form of conscious sedation. I'm just not 100% positive. I don't think I've been under conscious sedation. That usually get put all the way out. And I just wake up later. It's done. Now, that being said, I might have liked some conscious sedation when they did that. Oh, what's it called? Where they scrape your cervix. They do the little like biopsy of your cervix. They pinch it and rip a piece off essentially. I could have done with some conscious sedation for that. Trying to put it in the back and it was going in the front. No wonder it wouldn't work. I definitely could have used some conscious sedation for that. They said it's going to be a little pinch. It was not a little pinch. And then the piece they grabbed didn't look correct. Because I had recently had my cycle. So they're like, oh, I think that's a little bit left over from your cycle, not like actually what we need. So they did it 4 more times. Until I finally went, you know what you have is going to have to work or you're going to have to put me out because this really fucking hurts. They did it a total of 5 times. So yeah, I was like, no. That's when they were doing all the testing to see if I could not to see if I could have my hysterectomy, but more along the lines to make sure it wasn't something else going on. Like either way I was going to get the hysterectomy, but like they wanted to make sure there wasn't something else going on that was causing, which they never figured out what was causing it, but either way. I love this song. Make sure there's 4 in between. I had to sit in front of a man I've never met before in my life, not even 5 minutes before, completely naked, not a stitch. Oh no, mine was when I was pregnant. So for me, because I'm so small, my stomach starts directly, like my baby belly would start directly underneath my boobs and go all the way out. Like I didn't get big other places. And thank you for the worky lurky, Kevin. And they would have to have a nurse stand at the foot of the bed and grab my hands and pull me forward. Basically, I couldn't breathe because everything would get smushed as they pulled me over to push my spine out. Yeah, for the C-section. That's the only time I've ever had a spinal block is when they did the C-section. For everything else, I've been out. Like, even when I originally broke my leg and they had to put me at, had to sedate me to put the splint on. I was out. Like, it was short-term sedation, but I was still not even awake. It didn't last long. More like ketamine, where it just puts you out of it for a bit. But I don't even think it was ketamine, because you're still kind of conscious for it. So I was out. But it just was short-term out. Now we get to play with all the little squares and try to get them evened out. I try not to look at them too much because I feel like they never get correct. Sometimes the way they talk to you is kind of weird. They're like, so we're just gonna, like, sir, I don't know you. Sir, don't talk to me like we've known each other our whole lives. It is weird how they sometimes do that. And I just did that during ads because I wasn't paying attention. A metapod. It says a netball is best for the metapod. See if my kitty game will load in the little bit of time. Welcome in, Dusa. If you want, I have the kitty, bongo, cat, whatever, lobby pinned at the top if you want to join and have your kitty at the top. Look, I got a ghosted kitty and a witch hat. That's cute. I didn't think it would load in time. It's going. The weather here cannot decide what it wants because it's been rainy all week. It's been rainy, so it's been cooler, but at the same time, it like rains and it brings the temperature down, and then like by the afternoon it's back up to almost 90. So like just please make up your mind weather. I would appreciate it a lot. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was raining when I took her to school. Not like heavy rain, but then it really started to rain later. And then still by the time I picked her up at 5 from archery, it was like almost 90 degrees. And so I'm like, weather, can we please? Can we please? Thank you. It's new. Ooh. As I throw my stuff across the desk, apparently. It's new. So it says Jack Skellington, and then it says Master of the Night, and then oh, it says all kinds of stuff. Say what a wonderful nightmare. And it's got like all the little symbols like skeletons and bats and pictures of Jack Skellington and ghosts and all kinds of stuff all over it. I got it from Target. If anybody needs a Halloween costume, they're 30% off this week at Target. If you need a Halloween costume for your pet, also 30% off this week at Target. Target should sponsor me. Like, I feel like everything in my house either came from Target or IKEA. Except for the craft supplies. And, well, that's because they don't sell craft supplies. Okay, another register sticker. And again, we want it like at the, not that piece. At like the top of the block. Ooh, I love new bookstores. Okay, Alex. I hope your sister's doing well. So a little register. Then a bowl. Well, that's right. I never consider new to mean new. I always consider new to be like new to the person. So that's our little register area there. Money, bowl, register, glasses underneath. Since when? Finally found my second camera so now I can have face cam and build at the same time. Whoop whoop! Whoop whoop! Fantastic! Love when we find our crap. You're like, I know I have the thing, it's just where in my house did it go? Welcome in, Tinker Glitch. I hope you are having a wonderful day. We are doing the thing. We are working on Hogsmeade Village on the 3 broomsticks. It's the second building in the set. Press the right button. That helps. I think that's the other butterbeer sticker. It is. Yeah, you're like, I know it is somewhere in all this stuff. It's the somewhere that's catching me. Like, which box did it get put in? So it's the same as the other butterbeer sticker we had. I've moved enough times to know that's exactly how that goes. Like, when you're packing the things, you're like, yes, I will definitely know what box I put this in. And then you get there and you're like, I haven't a damn clue. Doing the work lurk thing. Thank you for the worky lurky. We love worky lurkies here because we stream during the day, so most people are worky lurkies. We are very appreciative of the worky lurkies. Is everybody making their list for Prime Days? Because we all know we say we'll remember what we want to look for, and then we don't. At least not everything. I've been working on my list of things to look for. Not necessarily things I'm definitely going to buy if I find, but like just stuff. Yes. So this is a set of tweezers that came with a Fun Hole or now Lumi Brick set. So it depends on the sticker. Like on the bigger stickers, I tend to use the brick separator. But on the smaller stickers where you don't have as much like space to grab, I use the tweezers. And these have like a rounded edge instead of a pointy edge. So I don't ever worry about like it ripping the sticker or something. But when you don't have as much real estate to grab or to like slip the brick separator, then you wind up with it barely on and you don't really have as much control. I do love the tweezers for that. Yeah, I should have tried to put that on first. Yeah. But with the packing thing, I've definitely done that. As I'm packing it, I'm going, yes. Yes, I will know where I put this. And then, no. You got fat fingers. I use like I said, a combination of the two. Bigger stickers, I use the brick separator because it gives me more space to put it on, more grip, kind of move around. But like on smaller ones, this works better. These tend not to work as great on the big ones because like with the big stickers, when you get so close to the brick, they kind of like almost like static electricity, like they start to stick to the brick before you're ready. And then I just have like a tiny bit of grip to like move them, and that doesn't really work. So the actual brick separator is better. But for the small ones, yeah, it's reverse. So essentially, they both have their purpose and which one they're better for, at least to me. Everybody's different. Listen, when I build, the joke is that I'll go, if you've got big hands or normal sized ones, this may be difficult for you because I have tiny little kid hands and it was kind of tricky for me. And it used for the longest time, Carrot Cleric would just laugh. And then he went to build a set that I had built and he was like, oh my god, I now understood what you meant. That if you have big hands, this will be difficult because where they want you to get this brick in is just so tiny. He's like, it is now the best advice I've ever been given. If you have big hands or normal sized ones, this may be difficult. Okay, I think I need to move that up just a smidgen. You have so many sets to build. I wish that was a problem I had. I guess I can't move it up a little bit. That's where it's gonna live. My hubby has a crazy backstock. I do not. But I do also like build more frequently than he does. So is it supposed to be a cookie? Yep. Green brick. 2 of these. This and this. A pumpkin. So my son loves like corn mazes, pumpkin patches, the whole 9 yards. So I was like, I gotta look for one around us. I got 4 Potter sets next to me and a closet full in the other room. That is a lot. Listen, I'll come over and I'll help you build them. Oh, I did this with the other one too. I don't want to put it in the corner. I need to put the sticker in the corner, so I can't have the brick separator in the corner. And it's similar to the other one. It's got a leaky cauldron flyer, one that I'm guessing is for quills, one nut subscription, like little flyers. For a while, the Hubs was like buying Lego sets he liked, but he wasn't streaming building them or anything. And so then they were just there. And I was like, listen, either you need to start building them or I'm going to start building them. And he was like, you leave my sets alone. I will build them. So finally, I'm like, just build them on stream. I live in Vegas and you and the Hubs can come out. Done. I lived in Vegas for a time, many, many moons ago. In 2007. I didn't live there very long. But... yeah, he was like, so he used to stream like way back during COVID. He had broken his ankle and he was off work for a while. So he would stream video games. And then my lady goes live every day. Yeah, like, well, I go 3 times a week and he goes like once a week. But he was doing video games and he said it felt more like a job and it was a lot like not, he just wasn't enjoying it. So he stopped, which is fine. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. You know, the whole point of streaming is that you're enjoying what you're doing, and if you're not anymore, then stop. So he did stop, and he got into Legos again, and he had a bunch of sets, but he just wasn't really building them. They would just pile up, and finally I was like, listen, you should start streaming again, and you should stream your Legos like I do. Then you'll build them. Yeah, that's what I mean. Mine is more like a job. It is not my main job because I still have the stay at home duties. Because I do have 2 high schoolers. So there's that. And there's the taxi system that is involved in having children. But as they get older, there'll be less of that. And then I plan to try to do this more as like a steady job, like an everyday. And then that will become, I think, and that's to say, like, who knows in 2 or 3 years if I'll still be doing this. Yeah, as a whole business and everything, but on TikTok. Yeah. I don't have the social medias. I do book blogging too, and I had kind of backed off of that near the end of the last school year and over the summer, but I'm getting back into it. But I've been doing that for like 10 years. And you don't really get paid monetarily, and I'm okay with that. But if you add up all the books I get for free in a year, I'm definitely still coming out on top. Because books add up, like all that is expensive. But I'm also not that great at social media in general. I could make money like on Facebook and that if I put in the effort. But I just don't have like, the oomph to do that. If by the time the kids are done and graduate, if I am still streaming at that point, then I plan to try to make it more like an everyday thing. More like a business. But, obviously not Lego every day. Like, crafts some days, video games some days, Lego some days, asked that before, and I said no. Because I wasn't like on camera ever. And I know there's more to like the if you go be part of book talk, then you get like physical copies and like you have this whole thing where like all your content is book centric, which I'm not opposed to. It's just I don't know if I have the giddy up and go to do like the editing that is required for stuff like that. There's like staging and whatnot, and I am more of a this is me, look at me mess up. Just watch me live, watch the chaos as it happens. It just be me going, check out this book. He has 2 peens. I don't even know, like, what I would necessarily, like, talk about. Like, obviously the book, but... And I would consider doing something like that, but I am not so much with, like, the editing and staging in that. It's just whatever happens, happens. I mean, we could do that. We could do, like, a once or twice a month book after dark where we just talk about books I've read. I mean, we've talked about doing like a book club in Discord. We could do a once or twice a month book after dark, like book club stream where we just talk about books we've read recently. I read just about everything except for like I prayed hard enough and I wasn't scared of the fire anymore. Um and I read just about everything but that. But I read a lot of the dark weird stuff. I love mafia and, forced marriages and like I saved her from being trafficked and then I killed everybody who looked at her sideways. So I saw a video like advertisement on Facebook and I need to figure out which book this is because I really really want to read it. But like it was just like it looked like a moving fireplace, kind of like one of those moving images. And it's not a video but like, like the gifts that move. And it said when her husband's family chooses to sacrifice her on her wedding night for like more power, and it turns out that the demon they summon has been waiting for a wife for a really long time, and he knows with one look that she is meant to be his wife and proceeds to kill everybody who has ever wronged her. I want to know what book that is so I can read it. I have returned, but now I have to go to the shop. Forgot I was supposed to be drinking loads of water. Yes, Alex, you got to drink the water to flush out your systems. May the store have what you need, and there be no line. There's another one. Yeah, I need to know the title. There's another one I saw as like a little clip that were like when the guy you've been crushing on wakes you up, or when you find the guy you've been crushing on in your house coming down the stairs after he just murdered your whole family. Her family's abusive, by the way, so it's okay that he murdered them. It's actually, better. And he's like, oh, sorry, princess. I didn't mean to wake you. And I'm like, he has manners and he took care of business? I need to find this gentleman. Like, I need to know the title of that book too. Like, I need to know. But I do read clean romance or young adults. I've read some fantasy. But I love like the weird stuff, you know, like I like I read the BDSM books too. MC, Mafia, Cartel, Bratva. Not to flush their system, just need to be really hydrated so they can be sedated. Yeah, because you can't be dehydrated. Yeah, he just has accepted this as his plot in life. So they haven't done it the last couple years, but his family used to go on a summer family camping trip every year, right? And we used to come back from wherever we were living and we would go camping with them. And I have a very religious sister-in-law, and her family in general is very religious. Well, her parents came up with all her horde of siblings, and they went camping too. And I was reading on my Kindle, and her mom goes, "Oh, you like to read? What are you reading?" And I was like, "No, I'm not getting involved in this conversation." And I was like, "A book?" And she's like, "Oh, what kind of book?" And I was like, the kind with words? There's no pictures." And she was like, "Tell me about it." And I was like, no. No. And she's like, "Maybe I'll want to read it." And I was like, "I highly doubt it." And she she just would not. And I was like, this is not the type of book you would like." And she's like, "How do you know? I might." And I was like, "Fine." And I don't remember what exactly I was reading, but I know it was not a book she would like. Sorry, I'm trying to get this lined up, but it does not want to. Yeah, like I tried so many ways to deviate this conversation and you just won't go. Like you won't let it go. And finally I was like, it's dirty. He does dirty things to her. And they take the Lord's name in vain a lot. And finally she was like, "Huh?" And I was like, it's dirty. It's a dirty book. It's porn. Like this is the kindest way I can put it. It's porn. And she was like, "Oh, and I was like, I tried so many times to get you to leave this alone." She's like, "You read that out here in front of the children?" "Yeah, because they don't know what I'm reading." "Do you think through osmosis of just being around me that they're going to know what I read?" But she never did ask me what I was reading ever again. Like, a book, it has words, right? Like, you didn't know what I was reading. They don't know what I'm reading. Fine, fine. It's not like it has them fornicating on the cover of the book and they can all see it. It's on a Kindle. They don't know what I'm reading. Out here in front of the delicate sensibilities. Yeah, I'm not reading it out loud. the sky, come and save us. My sister-in-law is like that sometimes too. Like one time, one year for Christmas, I bought Crazy Inglorious Bastards, the movie, before we just didn't watch everything digitally through streaming. I bought him the actual DVD, and he was like, "Man, I can't wait to watch this." And she was like, "Not here in front of the kids." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, we're gonna pop it in right now." Like, nobody said about anything about watching it right now in front of the kids. Like, really? Does this need to be said? Most of the time, I'm like, listen, you raise your kids your way, and I'll raise mine, and we're all just live in proximity to each other. The only, like, one of the few times we had, like, a huge, like, big deal between us was, oddly enough, they always involve Boy Wonder. One time her kid peed on Boy Wonder's scooter. He had like one of those plastic step ones. It made that like clicking noise when you drove it. He loved it. We got it for like $3 at a yard sale. Her son peed on it, and then he wouldn't let him use it anymore after he got done freaking out. Every time the kid would even like get near the scooter, Boy Wonder would like sprint across and grab it. And it got to the point where he would like keep it tucked up against his side, like we wouldn't let him use it at all. And she was like, "He's not gonna share?" No. Well, I mean, you could tell him he has to. I could, or you could tell your kid not to pee on other people's stuff. I think this is the bigger conundrum here, is that your child thought it was okay to pee on someone else's property and that he should just get to keep using it. No, I'm not going to make him share. And then many years later, um, it was only really it wasn't that long. The first Jurassic Park with blue in it and the raptors and stuff, where it was like raptor centric, had come out, and Boy Wonder wanted to watch it, so I rented it at like a red box, and we brought it back to my mother-in-law's house. Now keep in mind, all the kids are at least 10 years old, at least. And I asked my mother-in-law, I was like, "Can I put this in for him to watch?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem, go ahead." And so I put it in, and like 5 minutes after the movie started, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, all of them show up at my mother-in-law's house, and they're in the living room, and she's like, "What movie is on?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the new Jurassic Park." And she was like, "Oh, no, 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 no. All the kids out. All the kids out." And I was like, "Your kids? Okay. Your mom says you guys can't watch this. You got to get out of the living room." And she was like, "No, yours too." And I was like, "I rented it for Mayan. It's fine." "No, this is too scary. This is too scary. They can't watch this." And I was like, "I am unfamiliar with when my kids became your kids and you got to tell them what they couldn't do." She's like, "Well, it's not fair if yours get to watch it and mine can't." And I was like, "I don't care what your kids can or cannot do. I only care what my kids can or cannot do. Your kids, your business. My kids, my business. He can watch it." Like, just because your kids are scared of Scooby-Doo is not my problem. That was about the last time she ever tried to say, like, what they could or couldn't do. I'm like, lady, listen. We come to visit like twice a year, and that's it. Because we didn't live near them or my mother in law or any of the family, really. Uh, we didn't until we retired like 2 years ago and moved back. So we would come to visit like twice a year, and that was it. Like, don't don't tell my kids what they can do. Like, if they're misbehaving, that's one thing. Like, if they're doing something that they could get in trouble for or things like that, that's a whole nother subject. But like, I'm okay with them watching Jurassic Park. They're fine. This is our last bag for the day. There were lots of like normal childhood things, like, you know, not being prepared when they take the kids camping, and so the kids don't have a lot of toys there, so then they want the toys my kids brought, and so there was some of that, like, it's not actually your toy, and if whoever it belongs to says they're done and they don't want to share anymore, then you have to respect that, kind of deal. But like, those were the only two real times where she was like gonna tell, you know trying to be like, she gotta say, really. It was the weirdest thing. My mother-in-law watched them when we went on our 5-year honeymoon by ourselves, because we didn't do much of like a real honeymoon the first time. We just went away for like 2 days and came back because Fantasy was still a baby. And so when we hit 5 years, we went to Disney by ourselves, and my mother-in-law watched the kids, and she called us while we were at Disney to ask if she could cut Boy Wonder's hair, because he's always had longer hair. And she was like, I'm taking one of mine to get his hair cut. Can I take him with? And I was like, no, he doesn't need his haircut. And she's like, well, he would look so cute with, like, a shorter boy haircut. And I was like, if I come back and my child's hair's cut, I'm going to cut yours. I'm going to shave your head. And I called my mother-in-law, and I was like, she just asked to take him to get his hair cut. Do not, under any circumstances, let her leave the house with my child. He was still young. Because what? That would have been 13. He was like 3. But even when he was older and had like the choice, do you want to cut your hair? Do you not want to cut your hair? Like, do you want to trim or full on haircut? He's always wanted to keep it longer. Oh, you know what helps is if I put it on the piece the right side up. Oh, it's a little, supposed to look like a little torch. We don't do a ton with them, even now that we've moved back. Um, oh yeah. Um, we were camping one time and she got the nail polish out and she asked if she could paint Fantasy's nails because she was going to paint her own and her daughter's. And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't care. And Boy Wonder was like, ooh, can you paint my nails too? And she's like, no, boys don't get their nails painted. And I was like, I'll go into town and buy a bottle of nail polish and I'll paint your nails. And she was like, you're really going to paint his nails? Yeah, because no one cares. I have bigger things to worry about than whether his nails are painted or not. I focus on, like, have you been using the toilet? Have you been brushing your teeth? Have you been brushing your hair? I don't care about his nails being painted, and neither does anybody else. Like, if that's your biggest concern, I am so happy that you have such an easy life that your biggest concern is somebody else's child's nails being painted. I was like, are you seriously not going to paint his nails? Like, your whole thing is that he's a boy and he's not allowed. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Ooh, we're going to build a chandelier. Yeah, so we drove to, like, there, just a little shop, and I bought, like, $1 bottle of nail polish, and I painted his nails, and she's like, I don't care. He can wear his hair in a ponytail, in a braid. He can wear nail polish. And she, on the other hand, can wear pants and never wear a dress again and cut her hair short, and, like, none of this matters. If he wants to wear a pink and a dress, then okay. I don't care. So, this is the chandelier so far. Then we need this and this. No, not that one. Similar, but not that one. Here we go. Yeah, like, I mean, why per se? But I don't, in the end, I don't really care. For the longest time, Boy Wonder had a shirt that said, like, real men wear pink. It's just a color. Ooh. This is how we're going to hang the chandelier. Okay. Sit straight up, little cones. There we go. We're gonna have a Pokemon coming, or spawning soon. Coming in, spawning. Whatever those words are. A wild Tortig? Tortuga? The kids are like all older now, like in their teens and stuff. So, you know, everything is more their personal style than, you know, mom and dad's anymore. My niece will graduate this, school year, and Fantasy will graduate next school year. So they're all older. And then Boy Wonder and my first nephew will both graduate in 29. But then they have another little girl who's only like 5 or 6. So they have many moons yet to go to be done with children. Did I accidentally? No, it's supposed to have 2. This is supposed to have 2. Did I? Should I have used a black one somewhere and I used a green one instead? Let's see. I bet I did it on this. I bet it looked green. Or it looked black in the darker lights. Yep. There it is. That's an easy fix. I either wasn't paying attention or I just picked up the wrong one. Either way, easy fix. Oop, we got another sticker, number 22. It is just a like portrait painting of a guy. You know, a wizard of some kind. Come on. Focus. There we go. Oop. And we got this big blue one, like a carpet. If I can get it to clip in. No, I was trying to get it in the middle. It needed to be over further. That will make a difference. This, and this. So we have a window, and then I don't know what this is supposed to be, but this thing. We have like a little sitting room. I feel like there's some more of these left than I should. Oh. It looks like a keyhole. And it's supposed to be on here. I thought to myself, I bet there's something on there for like a door handle. And then I didn't pick it up. And there's always two. And then these are just the two minifigures we did today, which was Harry Potter and I forget the other one. So let's look it up. It is, there was a, oh, here we go. As soon as it finishes loading. Or decides to load, I guess, is more appropriate. It is Madame Rosmerta. So this is where we're at with the three broomsticks so far. And then this is the first building. So it looks like, you know, it is one building, right? But it's really three buildings. It's the Owl Post, Dervish and Bang, and then Honeydukes. And then this is the inside. So you have the Honeyduke store, but then up here's like their candy kitchen, kind of like where they make the stuff. And this is just like storage and Dervish and Bangs, and then the Owl Post and where they sort the mail upstairs. So we have to finish this, you know, the three broomsticks, and then there'll be another building that will have the Hogshead, I think more Owl Post. Sorry, I'm trying to like get a better look at the picture. You know, the Hogshead, more Outposts, And I think that's it. Just those two buildings. There might be like a third tiny one in there that I'm not sure about. Yeah, that must be what it is. Because that's this. So, yeah, it's like another tiny store in between. Kind of like Dervish and Bang. But then you have the Hogshead and more Outpost. And so for this one, we only have these 3 stickers left. They basically did a sticker sheet for each building. The Zoinko's toy shop is the other one. And Scriven Shaft's quill shop. So the quill shop, the Hogshead, and Zoinko's, not more Outpost. Sorry. Will be the third building. So it was like we built the first one, you know, with the Honeydukes last week, and then we'll build this one this week, and then next week we'll build the third. And so then they all kind of go together next to each other. And I have the 2 buildings from Hogsmeade that they did a while ago. So I'll kind of put them all next to each other. And we built this. We built this little sleigh and horse. It's not really a carriage because it does have rails on it like a sleigh, so versus, you know, wheels like a carriage or something. Let me make sure I put my pieces places. That's it. So I figured we would work more since we did the video game on Thursday. We would work more on the bookmark today. So I will close these 2 out and put up the picture of the bookmark over there. I want to say we had something up there last time, and that's why I didn't leave it up there. Or it blocks kind of like, because I wind up moving this kind of more here, so you guys get a better look without this camera being, you know, in my me camera area. And then let me open. I did not mean to press save. I meant to press file. Open. Okay. So this is what we got done so far. Not a terrible lot, but that's because we had to undo some. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to have start ads in a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5 total, but 1, 2, 3, 4 in the shelf. And then we need to go. The ads are in a 3-minute block. And then we come back and we're good for another hour. We do it this way so it gets rid of pre-rolls and there's less interruption to the stream with ads by doing them in one block. If you have turbo or you're subbed, you don't get ads. I do not build during the ads. I don't know that the cross stitch matters so much, and the games are hit or miss whether I can stop doing ads, but I do my best for you not to miss too much if you're not subbed or don't have turbo. So I don't want you to feel like you need to get one or the other in order, you know, to get the full effect. We just kind of hang out. In fact, I'll probably play my kitty cat game during the break because I have like a special event thing going on and it only lasts 2 days, so I need to maximize my stuff during that. I don't know if I can share it with you guys or not because, you know, it would be like a camera on my tablet. I don't know how much that's really going to show you. But we can try. It's really like one of those merge games with kitty cats. But I earn points to like decorate my kitty cat area, so I don't know. It's a time waster game. I did make a Stegosauros yesterday, and I posted pics of it in the Discord. I played a demo of a game yesterday, but I didn't like it, so I wound up taking the game off my wish list. It was kind of slow. Like, I don't know. I felt like my character moved really slow, and that was frustrating. Let's see. I don't know if I can show you my kitty cat game or not. We'll try. Oh, it logged out. Probably when I dropped it last time. But yeah, it's like looking at my screen, so I don't know how fun that is. Let's get this. Okay, that's mark that. Oh, brushes, green. That marked where it was supposed to. Good. Matched up where it was supposed to. A clefable. I'll be back in just a few seconds. Okay, that's all from that. Welcome back. We just went across and we matched up where we were supposed to, so that's good. So then the thing above it is 1, 2, 3, then a space of 2, and then some black books. I did finish the Dracula's Castle cross stitch, and I put pictures of that in Discords too. Finished all the things. the next one I'm going to work on is when it says till death, but the till death part, like the words, glow in the dark, as well as like one or two little ghosts you stitch onto the fabric. You're part of the design. So I'm going to do that one, and then I need to get my one for Craftober ready as well. My hope is to get them both sorted. So when I go shopping later this week, like grocery shopping, there's a Michael's like in the same area, so I can just drop in. I won't have to make like a separate trip. Ow, I stabbed myself underneath my nail. Boys and girls, this is why holding your fabric is not the ideal solution. Oop, I should change my thing to makers and crafting, and then add cross stitch and makers and there we go. We'll fix that. There we go. I always forget that I should change my category and whatnot. Where are you, mouse? There you are. I freaked out for a minute. I thought I did this row where there's only two, that I did it twice. And it was only supposed to be once. But no, I only did it once. I was just thinking 2 stitches, not 2 rows. Is anybody else doing spooky crafts? I saw today that Michael's has... Okay, so 3D is kind of like... If you think about it, I mean, all Diamond Dot is 3D. But, like, they had plastic, kind of like the ugly sweaters I did last year, except these were trees and they fit together. Like, they have a slit, kind of, and they slip together like this. And then it's an ornament. I'm gonna have to look for those when I go to Michael's too. Because we're gonna need to do those for Christmas. I still have ugly sweaters from last year, so I will do the same thing. People who are sub to me will get one. You just, if as long as you're willing to give me your address and you live in the United States, because international shipping is expensive. But if you are sub to me in November, because I want you to have them for Christmas. So I try to get them done at the end of November, beginning of December, shipped out kind of a deal. But you can pick the ugly sweater you want, and I will ship it to you, and you can have an ugly sweater Christmas ornament for your tree, if you wish. I do a redeem for it too. So like, even if you're not subbed, you can spend channel points, and I will make you one. And I know Christmas seems way far away, but like I said, really October is next week. And I start working on on people I know who plan to be subbed, you know what I mean? Like have a reoccurring sub that they don't plan on canceling. Get theirs done first and mailed. And then people can spend channel points for them. Okay, let's just start from down here. Sorry, after a while I stop paying attention to where my hands are in relation to on the camera. And then I wind up out of view, and I'm sorry, guys. Plus, I'm not used to like holding the fabric like this, so it makes everything interesting. Welcome back, Alex. We have switched crafts, as you can see, or switched two crafts, I should say, because we were building Lego before. Okay. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. We are going to connect where we should connect. I love when we connect where we should connect. That means I don't have to figure out where I messed up and undo. That has us there. And we did the things in that space. And here, but I didn't do the eyeballs up here. The eyeballs should be, there should be 4 spaces between 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Should be right there, and we'll double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I'll do a couple, do the things I should do, and then near the end, I will cut that and tuck it better so that it's not just stretched across like that. But the less I have to, like cut and flip, I just fix it later. These are the eyeballs of the little skull guy. But yeah, later I'll cut this like this. Boop. And I'll tuck those pieces. Okay. Let me check mark his eyeballs off. And then there's like a butterfly on the shelf above that I didn't think about doing when I was there, so we'll figure out where to start that. It's 2 up from the thing, so roughly in that row, but I gotta figure out where. Should be 1, 2, 3 for that book, and then 1, 2 for the next book, then a space of 2. And then it's like frame and border. Oh my god, I stuck it in the right spot and I didn't meet it. Like, I totally just guessed. I was like, I don't know, roughly here. But I was right. Come on. What do you got? A wild Volbeat. And I got a new Pokey bot thing that tells you more about the Pokies and like which ball to use and all that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in collecting the Pokies, we got more help with that. And I believe if you do exclamation Poke check, it will tell you if you have that Pokemon or not. So you can guess if you need that one, or so you can know if you need that one or not. I don't care. I just try to catch them all. It does not matter if I already have them. It's like Monopoly. You just buy everything you land on. Okay, so let's see. 2, 3 from the edge and 2 up. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Yep. Double checking that we're right. And we are. Always nice when things line up the way they're supposed to. My hand is like, what are we doing? Why do you want to keep nodding up? There we go. We'll just hold it like this. When we took Fantasy to get her bowstring changed this weekend, they didn't have their buckets of arrows out yet. Because it's still kind of early in the season, I guess. So they only had the packs of 6, which don't really help us because she needs like 10 arrows of a light color and a dark color so that when she tries to go to these other competitions, she'll need to have her own arrows. And the guy there that gives her tips said that once you get to about 280, you should be using your own arrows anyway. Like always taking your own arrows because you know, you don't know how many times these school arrows or the ones the competition gives have hit the floor or bounced off things, and that can affect your shot as well, like because the arrow might be bent or something wrong with the fletching or the arrow's not balanced anymore. So we are kind of looking into getting her own arrows to use all the time anyway. Like she has her own arrows for practice, but she's not been taking them to competitions and things like that. So that may be something we start doing where she is like the arrow she has now, she continues to practice with, but then she'll have arrows for like competition. That may, you know, help with her score and things like that. Okay, apparently I just put that up and down instead of, you know, on an angle. But he gave her some more tips, you know, things like that to incorporate into what she already does. Um, to help her. Some just that are like good habits to have, like tips to give her, like habits that just help, and some um that are like doing this with the way you line up your shot or things like that will help you adjust your score. He's a good guy. Every time we go, he's like, let me help you. I want you to do better. It's fantastic, you know. And he'll give her tips and stuff. If we lived closer, because this store is about an hour from our house. If we lived closer, we would definitely try to get her on as like one of the people he trains regularly. But it's kind of an hour each way is on a school night is not really all that feasible for us. Oh yeah, that's no Gouda. Okay, that is the butterfly there. Let's go up a little bit. Okay. So, the second in and two up. So, one more up. We've got another skull on the bookshelf. So, we need to do the eyeballs for it. Okay, let's mark the eyeballs. Then a one down and one over. Detailing on a book. That's kind of weird. I wonder why they had a campfire at school. I mean, I don't know how European schools work, so it may be completely normal there. So we are at that time of year where like shows come back, you know, from summer break and all that, like different TV shows. Is there any TV show or like new shows start too? Um, are there any TV shows anybody's looking forward to coming back or that are new that you want to check out? Just his class from looks. Oh, that's so weird. Ooh, I wanted to tuck those other ones. Yeah. I mean, like, if the whole school had it, I don't know. It's still kind of odd, but whatever. But just his class, that seems extra odd. Woohoo! I watched the first. It's there one or two seasons of that. I watched it, I think. Because it's a book. It's a, like a YA fantasy. Crochet hooks for knitting. Okay. Dang it. One string. Or one strand did not go. Now we're all wonky. I haven't read the books. I don't read a ton of YA. I do read some. Um, I haven't read the book. I watched the show, so I watched like one or two episodes, and I was like, I don't know if I'm liking this. And then I think I went back and watched the rest. I knew what you meant because you said it was in the thing, like your crochet hooks for knitting. And I was like, well, we're just gonna, that's a permanent joke now. That's what they are now. Crochet hooks for knitting. Or, yeah, crochet hooks for knitting. Like, that's not going anywhere. That's sticking. Sorry, it looked like there was like one strand went down, but not the other. I don't know. Yeah, now I'm confused if there's one or two. Well, we can look it up because I have the power of the internet at my fingertip. How many seasons of Shadow and Bone? There are two seasons, and then Netflix canceled it. There will not be a third season or the planned spin-off, just the two. Rude. Because that's with like the boat and she like expands light in the darkness and stuff. Don't want to bend and get in the other hole, so I'm gonna do it the normal way. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched a couple episodes and I was unsure about it. And then I believe I went back and watched the rest. I don't remember seeing much about like how accurate to the book is, but then again, in fairness, I probably just skipped over it and didn't read it. You know, like stuff I saw people's thoughts on how good it matched up to the book. I probably just ignored it and skipped over it. So, okay. I should read how many I should do before I just keep going. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see how many I've done. So I did the one below and the one even, and then I did 1, 2, 3 above it. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 more, and then isn't a shed with eyes? I mean, in fairness, in Pokemon, it could be a shed with eyes and be like completely normal, but I get what you mean. Like they missed an opportunity there. It would have been like the easiest artwork ever, shed with eyes. It could have been like a dark, scary, spooky Pokemon. And then they could have had another version of it that was all light and sweet, like a garden shed, you know? They missed an opportunity. Okay, that should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nope, only 5. Maybe my brain was like, the next one will be 6. And then I just remembered 6. Right, yeah, greenhouse one too. Yeah, they missed a whole opportunity there. Cause you have the like different region ones. So you have like the Alolan and stuff. They could have had a whole thing. Okay, now we're okay. Yeah, they missed a whole opportunity there. I agree, Alex. So I've been watching the what is it? I have to look at what it's called now because my brain was like, huh? I think it's called Blood and Bone. It's the spin-off for Outlander. And it's been pretty good. I watched the episode, the latest one, so it's not gonna tell me, like, it's not gonna be like right up. Yeah. Oh, it's Blood of My Blood, not Blood and Bone. Blood of My Blood, but it's like the Outlander spinoff. Yes, I am really liking it so far. Like, they're learning. Did I tell you I took Joe to the doctor? No, what did they say? I know his ears were bugging him again, and that he, it was. They keep saying it's nothing, but I didn't know that you had taken him again. Yeah, like as the series went on, like Claire and Jamie found out that basically, like, lots of people in their family had been like travelers. I love that their son, that Jamie, their daughter, their grandchild, can like hear it. Like, because all through the series you hear it and you're like, oh, that must just be something they do to like let you as the viewer know that something is happening. But then you learn that like the grandbaby, that's how he knows, and he can tell who can travel and who can't. Yeah, I kind of I've watched it many times, but I'll probably go back and watch it again. Oh, oh, I only did three. It needed a fourth. That's all right. That's easy to fix. He's got a stomach infection, apparently. Gotta take a stool sample in and take him back if the fever keeps going up or if he gets really lethargic. Oh boy. Joe is just not having a good time of it. I rewatch, like, if I like a show, I will rewatch it over and over and over again. I can't count the number of times I've rewatched like Gilmore Girls or Supernatural or Firefly. Like, I just rewatch things. I don't care. We'll just do this way. So I've been making my list for Prime Days because it's the 7th and 8th. If you are like me and you always think you're going to remember what you want to look for, we can't lie to ourselves this time. You've got to make a list. I, yes, I watched the first season of 1883, and then what is it, like 1957? But I have not watched any of like the actual like mainstream show that those are spin-offs from, because even though I have Paramount, that doesn't seem to be like included in Paramount Plus. Like, you have to pay more to watch that. So I've not watched any of like the normal show, but I watched the 2 prequels, and I know they came out with a second season of 1883, but I haven't gone back and watched that. That's another thing I want to watch. Yeah, I watched because I wanted to watch Yellowstone, so I was like, I'll watch 1883, and then whatever the second one is. I want to say it's 1957, but I'm not positive. Um, I was like, and then I'll watch Yellowstone. So I watched both of those, and then it was like, oh, you don't have, like, I guess you have to pay like extra. So I was like, well, I'm not doing that. One more. So I haven't watched any of the actual Yellowstone. Yeah, I love how they're like, well, they're not rolling around the floor screaming in pain, and they're not drooling or vomiting, so they must be fine. Like, a visual is, like, not very good on judgment of, like, whether somebody's well or not. Okay. We go in one. I like Will Trent, too, that TV show. I don't know if you've watched it or not. I like Will Trent. It's so weird. It's like 80s vibes mixed with today. Like, it took me the longest time to like figure out what year they were in. Yeah. The visual is just bad all around, because the assumption is that you're either got to be, like I said, vomiting or like barely able to stay conscious or rolling around in pain for a visual kind of to matter. One, two, three, four. And then in again. Okay, one. So I hate trying to get like all the Christmas shopping done at the very end, right? So I try to at least get like ideas a little early, and then I can like buy little bits at a time. So I'm like, what does everybody want for Christmas? I know it's early, but it's really not that early, because one, I don't have an unlimited pot of money, so I need to spread the buying out. And two, it doesn't hurt to get an idea about what people want. Then you can, like, start looking, even if you're not buying right away, like, or if you want to make them something, you kind of get an idea about what you would like to make, which, it takes longer than just pressing ship. I hate running around with my head chopped off at the end, like trying to scramble to get everybody something. I never know what to get my mother-in-law because when you ask her, it's always the same thing. I just want everybody to come together. Well, that's not a thing I can buy you. Welcome in, Beauty and the Geek. I hope you've been doing well. I was talking about the C word. Really, I was talking about getting gifts for people. And how I don't like to be, like, at the last minute trying to scramble around. Nope. It said and stuff. This is the and stuff. We did our 5 bags. It's a spooky bookshelf bookmark. Well, it will be a spooky bookshelf bookmark. I changed it. I even updated it. Mine says makers and crafters. My Twitch category when I open it to update inside thing. Let me look on Twitch. Edit stream info. Yeah, even when I open it up in Twitch, it says Lego Hogsmeade Village, the number part 3 and stuff. And then my category is makers and crafters. I was like, did I mess up? I even clicked it twice. But, Twitch does what Twitch wants. But the Prime Days is what got me really thinking about it, is that, spread out the buying. And I can look for stuff people might like during Prime Days. So I'm like, what does everybody want? Listen, my nieces and nephews are older. You blame Tuka. It's okay. I blame him all the time. I blame him all the time. It's always his fault. You know. Plus, if I choose to make the few younger kids that are in our family something instead of buying them something, that takes longer to do. We'll just blame Tuka. It's okay. He's not here to defend himself. He won't even be surprised that I blamed him. Or that anybody blamed him. Come on. Get in the hole. Yeah, it's the crazy man's fault. Oh, I missed a re at the top up here. That's right. I'll get them when I come down this side. Yeah, he won't even question it. He'll be like, yep, it was my fault. But my nieces and nephews are older, and I just, some people say it's cheating or it's not as personal, but I don't know what they want. They're teenagers. They don't know what they want half the time. I just give them gift cards, and then they can add it to something they've been saving up for, or they can buy something they've wanted. I just give them gift cards. Asking their parents what they like is almost worse than trying to talk to the kids about what they want. Sometimes I feel like I'd rather just buy my own kids gift cards because getting answers out of them about what they want is not easy. Fantasy isn't that bad because she will take D&D stuff or knitting stuff or like diamond dots. Jar pennies. Be like, I don't know. A box? I don't know. They're weird. They're little kids. Stuff. They want stuff. Yeah, fantasy isn't that bad. She would like, D&D stuff. So either like D&D books or like just anything to do with D&D. More dye, whatever, or like she wants circular knitting needles. Where they have that tube or string like on the back so you can keep going around in a circle. He's obsessed with coins at the moment because he's got a proper money box. He's like, I will take any loose change you have. I will take it off your hands. Oh, I remember when giving them pennies made them so excited. They're like, I'm rich. You are. And now they're like, what am I going to do with this? Nothing. Collect them. When you get enough, you can purchase something. You'll need about a bazillion of them, but that is not the point. Okay. Yeah, but boy wonder, asking him what he wants, it's always, I don't know. That's a lie. You have to want something. Are you going to tell me what it is, though? Or he'll go, it doesn't matter, it's too expensive. Why don't you let me decide that? Like, why don't you just tell me what you want and I'll decide if it's too expensive. It probably is, but let me decide that, you know? Like maybe you'll get it, but it'll be the only thing you get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 more. It was like pulling teeth last year to get him to tell me what he wanted. His birthday's about 3 months before Christmas, but, you know, there might be, like, adjustments and things we could do, you know what I mean? But, like, I didn't ask you to give me your opinion about it. I just asked what you wanted. It's hard enough to get you to tell me what you want. Fantasies would be easy to combine with her birthday and Christmas because her birthday is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks after Christmas. But it's still the same thing. Like, why don't you let me decide? I just asked what you wanted. I didn't ask for the extra. But I thought about it and I was like, maybe doing something for Christmas versus Christmas presents might be better. Like, still get something small or a couple small things, but like more or less the activity would be the Christmas gift versus like items. Big hairy GM13. Welcome in. Yeah, we listen to the screamy music in here. He might have stepped on a Lego though. That's all right. It did make me laugh. I know this type of music is not everybody's cup of tea. Was it? Next week we'll probably switch to like Halloween spooky music. You know, that kind of like that type of music. I have a good kind of like long YouTube thing for it. I found I really like it. We'll probably play that most of October, or yeah, October and November, and then December I don't do Christmas music, so these will be our last ads for today. Ooh, check my kitty cat game. Play the kitty cat game. Hope we're gonna have a pokey soon. Oh, yes, there is one more. This silly time waster game that I am like semi obsessed with. Welcome back, guys. I was saying that next week, because it'll be October, we'll probably go to this nice long, like kind of spooky-esque playlist I found on YouTube. I like it. And we'll probably listen to that like October, November. And then I don't do Christmas music because it's 8 songs sung by 200 different people. If you like Christmas music, I don't hold that against you. It's just I don't do Christmas music. I worked retail for a really long time, and I can't do Christmas music anymore. Trying to figure out where I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. There we are. So we will switch up the music. Before I used to worry about whether it was like copyright free. But since I have learned how to separate the two, I don't worry about that so much anymore, obviously. It is going to be a spooky bookcase bookmark. So, on the left side of the screen is what it should look like when it's finished. Okay. Got to check off the stuff or I will get confused. 5 more. I did find some like rock heavy metal Christmas music, so maybe I'll make a playlist of that. And we can listen to that kind of Christmas music, but that's about it. I bought a book. I got the Kindle digital. No, that's all right. I just tried to put up a picture um of what I'm working on so you guys can kind of see what it's supposed to be like. It's hard to tell because it is a small picture, but you know, you make it too big and it's basically the whole screen. So hence the I attempt to. Okay, two. Um and I know on your phone it's really hard to see everything that's like decorating the corners of the stream. But it's supposed to be a spooky like casket bookcase bookmark. Right now it is a strip of fabric with a couple little lines on it. It's not much. But in theory that is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Yep. Okay, that gets. I have a did the like because I bought the digital copy because I was it was cheaper and I was impatient. And so when I open up the digital copy like in my browser, I did like the print screen and then put it in the pattern in paint and kind of like enlarged it so I could mark things off as I go. Like, okay, I'm done. You know, this row here. So hopefully in theory I don't mess up as much, but you know, I'm still probably going to mess up. Um but yeah, we've done the spooky things. I have made, let me finish this one more stitch and I will show you. I crocheted jellyfish eyeballs for Halloween too. I still need to make some more because I made the joke that I'm going to make like 18 of them and hang them in my front window on like suction cup hooks so that all the neighbors can drive by and see my eyeballs. Eyeball jellyfishes. I've made like 4 of them. They're all hanging on my camera arm here with different color irises. I firmly believe spookiness is a way of life, not a season. I love all the spooky stuff. There's Halloween-esque stuff around my house that just stays up all year long. It doesn't ever come down. I have like a Sanderson sister coffee thing in what like little coffee station area I made in my kitchen, and I have a door hanger thing that says a witch lives here with her little monsters. And then my welcome mat says a witch lives here with her old toad. And I wear my Halloween themed clothing all year round, or as much as I can all year round. We live in Arkansas. It's hotter than Hades crack here most of the year, but we doing the spooky things. I've already cross stitched an Evermore or Nevermore, like you know, Poe's Nevermore cross stitch thing, and I did a Dracula's Castle thing. Now I need to find appropriate frames for them to put them in. I love the spookies. We're gonna do a craft along type thing called Crafttober next month. That Carrot Cleric is sponsoring. So I've already decided what I'm going to do for that. I just got to do some calculations so I can cut the fabric, you know, the right size. We're going to do all the spooky things. Please match up. Why are we one too far over? Did we not? No, we did that right. Okay. I messed up like I said I would. I miscounted somewhere. And it's not here. Let's see. Find my mouse. It disappears on the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So not there. 5, 10, 15 across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One too many across the top. Oh, well, at least it wasn't like last time where I didn't discover it for a while. I told myself last time, let this be a lesson to count. I didn't count. Proof that I don't even listen to myself, let alone other people. Like I said, not too bad. We found out much sooner than we did last time. Have you really crafted something if you didn't mess up somewhere? Okay, now let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, all the 15s. 4, 9, 14, 15. Okay. All the counting, because we should be right this time. And we should, because we were only one off last time. If anybody likes the cross-stitch patterns I've been doing lately, I can put the link or the name of the book that I got them from, in Discord or in chat or whatever. I bought it off Amazon, and so it went to my Kindle, but you do not have to buy it there. I've seen it at Barnes and Nobles. If you have any questions about cross stitching, you can feel free to ask. Obviously, I can't count, so. But I have been doing it on and off for, oh, I'm scared to say 20 years. Oh, it's scary to say you've been doing anything for 20 years. A Relicanth? Relicanth? Can't pronounce Pokemon names. They're all so weird. But if anybody's interested in doing Crafttober with us, I can share the Discord link. It's basic. There were 3 polls for Crafttober. One was like color, type, and something. It was like subject, adjective, and color. So it wound up being pumpkin spooky black. And we did one before, but it was a cross stitch. And then some people were like, oh, I would have loved to join, but I don't cross stitch. So this time there were just decision made to make it like any craft you want. So if you crochet, if you do sand art, if you do paper crafts, if you do fiber art, you know, this way everybody could kind of do it. I imagine if you mock Lego, you could do something there too. Okay, so this is the basic outline and like the little blacks that were on each shelf. Now I can either switch to another color or I can start doing the bats that are at the top and bottom. Let's see, if we did the bats, trying to see where it lines up best. Okay, so it matches up with this second line. And then it's 2 for the rat. And then a space of 3. So right there. Be 9 in. 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9. Yep. And then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So, and then after we do a couple stitches, I will clip that longer strand and tuck it. But and then next one is 3. Okay, so this is 5, 10, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Okay. Sometimes I start going and I'm like, man, this seems like the fabric is just not big enough. But I'm already so far in that it's gonna have to work. But nope, it was right. Just the way it looked. We have about 30 minutes left in stream. And then I'll be back Thursday. Thursday, we will do more of Hogsmeade. And then we can either do more of this or we can play a game. We can play the Strange Antiquities that we were playing on Sunday. Oh, apparently I was leaning. Okay, 2 on either side. I found a pretty cool place near us that like pumpkin, like I was looking for like pumpkin picking, hayride, corn maze. And I found one that is like a petting zoo and a pumpkin patch type deal. And I am excited to see it. They have like llamas and stuff. The little angle part is supposed to be like bat wing, like kind of emphasizing the bat wing. Never. B. Two space, third under, okay. But yes. So we were talking earlier about like book talk, book podcasts, and I had said before that in Discord we could do like I already have a page whatever in Discord for where I share like book sales or just like I don't know stuff about books. But there was talk about potentially doing like a book club in there. But and the reason I don't really do podcasts or wouldn't want to do a podcast is there's a significant amount of editing. And I'd rather just be like, oh, I messed up and just keep talking. Like, I don't want to edit things. I just want to go. We all know I'm horrible at the talking. I don't want to have to edit. So I said we could do like once a month or twice a month a like book after dark where we talk about books we've read, books we want to read, you know. Um I don't know how many of you would be interested in that, but that is definitely something we could do. Like, I don't know, the second Wednesday of every month, kind of a deal. Um and who knows? It might get us a whole different following. But that is definitely something. And we could even have like, we could do it as like a co-streamy thing or just people in chat. You know, that is definitely something we can do. I will put a thing about it in the announcement channel and we can see how you guys want to do it. Now that I've kind of figured out how to do the stream together, or even like if you guys want to get on Discord and talk and just kind of be sound, not necessarily like in a co-stream. Okay, I'm not gonna keep fighting with you, piece of thread. You stupid fly, you've been hanging around all morning. I would like you to die now. That. No. We went to a new person on Sunday, so we can go to somebody we know today. I've been trying to alternate between people we know and people we don't, like new to us people, because I am horrible at the new to us thing. I have a penchant for just going back to the same people. There we go. A Punkaboo. It's a pumpkin Pokemon. How appropriate. Okay, we're going to do this next section a little different. Just because of the way the wings are, connecting and whatnot. We do a little bit of a jump around here. It will get connected eventually. This off, and this off. So it is not the first time I've seen slash heard it, but it is still funny and catches me off guard when I first start to hear it. It's like this person, and they go, if you're feeding your kids frozen chicken nuggets and frozen French fries, anything frozen like that, you're horrible. You're a bad parent. You need to cook them first. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. There we go. Yeah, but if we want to do the book thing, we can just talk, or we can craft while we talk about books. Lord knows not much crafting would probably get done, but... And I read just about anything. Look, I think she was trying to make a joke. She was like, it's a joke that, because people are like, oh, if you feed your kids frozen stuff, that's disgusting, you're a bad parent, meaning like ready made, you're just heating up. So she made kind of a joke about it that like, you're a horrible parent, not because you're feeding them that type of food, but because you're feeding them frozen. Like, you have to cook it, people. Or you have to cook it first. I don't doubt that there's probably somebody out there who's like, oh my god, I didn't know. Because I have seen some pretty dumb stuff. Yeah, I think it was more like she was making a joke out of it. Like a joke out of the people who freak out that people feed their kids frozen chicken nuggets and things like that. Because they're always like, oh, you're a horrible parent. You know, like every meal needs to be super nutritious and super, healthy. And the fact is that not everybody has time to cook a full meal every day. Or even if you have the time, sometime your cup is just empty by that time of the day. Like you just don't have the energy to do it. So, frozen chicken nuggets and frozen french fries. But I think she was more making a joke out of the fact that you're a horrible parent because you have to cook it first. Oh, the lady who didn't know how to open like the cinnamon roll tube, so she used a can opener. I'm like, come on, there's a pull here thing on the side. Like right there near the instructions. It says pull here. Or the lady, God, I hope it was a spoof, who like says that, like you buy the seasoning container and you have to take the lid off, pull that freshness seal off, and then, put the lid back on, and you have the two sides. The like side where you can measure the seasoning from, or the side where you can just sprinkle it out of. And she was like, just use a chopstick and poke a hole through. I don't know how they expect you to get the seasoning out. Like, oh, lady. Please be a spoof. Please be like a joke video. Please tell me you have not got to what looks to be about 35 without realizing you have to just unscrew the lid. I have seen some questionable things. And every time I'm like, please be a joke video, like a spoof. Like, oop, we're gonna have a pokey soon. That should be this one. There was a video about like the current generation. I've seen several of them where like they're really at their first job and they're like, oh my God, I can't be on my phone for 8 hours. How am I supposed to do this? And they're like crying in their office because they're not allowed to be on their phone, like just doom scrolling all day. That the people who are paying them want them to work. And all I can think when I see them is like, please, like, be a joke. Be satirical. 1, 2, 3. One here, then this row, then this row. Oh, come on. I did not make sure that Fantasy didn't text me saying she missed the bus or something. But also, if I didn't respond to her in a kind of, you know, timely manner, she would have called. So. The earbud said, nope, we're done talking. You have been on this phone call long enough. Bye-bye. I would say maybe the earbuds were dying, so that's why they kept, but I think at some point they just wouldn't accept the call anymore. Lost my mouse again in the design. It's because it switches to this, like, barely visible thing, and then I lose it in the pattern, as you can tell. Okay, let's see. We've got to go across. We're even with this. This row. Yeah. So it's supposed to be like rest in peace at the top, casket. And at the bottom, I believe. Oh, like maybe she touched like a certain part of the earbud and they considered that like the end call button kind of a deal. I can't wear earbuds for that kind of a reason. Like they don't fit in my ears right. Like they're always too big. And I know there's ones where you can buy like different, like the rubber piece is different and it's supposed to be like smaller. But even though it'll fit inside finally, it like hurts. Almost like it isn't really small enough. And so then it pushes and hurts. So I always have to wear like over the ear headphones. I have a smaller pair of over the ear headphones, but I can't wear earbuds. Okay, did I not do something right? I did 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because it's not supposed to be touching the. Okay. Something's not right, and I don't know what it is. 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Might be time to go back if he's dizzy. No, that's right too. Oh, I see what I did. I only did one space between those. It was supposed to be two. On the thing, it looked like one. Now that I'm like actively looking closer, I see. I would consider that a worse, like, if he's dizzy and he wasn't before, I would consider that an escalation in his symptoms. Because being dizzy can mean lots of things. It can mean that you're severely dehydrated, like severely malnourished, or it could mean other things are going on inside his head that are making him dizzy. Again, this is a fairly easy one to fix, and we didn't get too far. Just watch me undo my progress today. That's what we're doing. Undoing. Yeah, I would consider that an escalation. So I only put one space between them when there were supposed to be two. But on the pattern, I mustn't have like squinted my eyes enough to see that it was two. You know what? I did it on the width of them too. Glad I decided to check. Like, hey, ooh, if I messed that up, maybe I messed the other one up too. I did. We didn't want to get more done here at the end. We just wanted to undo stuff. Let this be a lesson. Don't feel bad when you mess up on a project. I do it too. Often. Okay. So still even with this. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yep. I feel like we did get a fair amount done on this in the 2 hours. Because the 2 times I had to undo weren't too far. Let's see if we can get back to where we were. It's only a couple stitches. Whew. We did get back, and we're correct this time. Press save a bazillion times. Let us get my mouse to work, or in the right place, I should say. Let's do, I said we can go to somebody that we know. Mr. Horal's on, Jake Stud's on, the Sarcastic Kitten is on, Yeti is on, Ranch Pesto. Oh, there's a ton of people we know on today. Brooksporium. Zach Rutledge. 9.5. Let's see what some of them are doing. Well, do this easier way. Raid channel. Ones we're following. Okay, so Sally Nightmare is kind of like new and known. She's in Wargaming stream a lot, but I don't think I've ever gone into her stream. So let's go to stream ending, and she'll count as like both today. She is playing the TCG simulator game, you know, where you have like a card shop. So let's start that. That way it'll kind of be both. I'm going to move my kitty so I can type here. Shout out to Sally Nightmare. Oh, you know what? It helps if I... Oh, it did it. I put EY, but it was like, no, I know what you mean. Nope, it didn't do the right person. We're not going to that one. I did it wrong. I put an E. I don't know why I put an E in her name. I did it again. I am not pressing E. I don't know why it seems to keep doing that, like an autocorrect almost, but I am not doing that. Okay, there's the right one. This last one. I don't know why it kept doing that. We're going to Sally Nightmare. And like I said, she's kind of new and not new. I know I've seen her in Wargamings. And so she's kind of like new and not new. Sally Nightmare. Okay. Okay.